On January 14, 2042, the deep-sea research submarine Proteus descended into Kraken Mare, the largest methane sea on Saturn's moon Titan. The mission was straightforward: map the ocean floor, collect samples, search for organic chemistry that might explain how life could emerge in liquid methane at -179 degrees Celsius. Proteus carried a crew of 4: marine biologist Dr. Lisa Chen, submarine pilot Commander James Torres, engineer Marcus Webb, and mission specialist Dr. Yuki Tanaka. They had oxygen for 96 hours, power for 120, communications relay to the surface station for constant contact with mission control. At 47 hours into the dive, at a depth of 340 meters, Proteus stopped responding to surface communications. Recovery teams reached the submarine 16 hours later. The hull was intact. The crew was dead. But the black box recorder was still functioning. This is what it captured during those final hours. This is why no submarine has returned to Kraken Mare since. Titan is the only moon in our solar system with a dense atmosphere and stable liquid on its surface. But instead of water, Titan's seas are liquid methane and ethane, hydrocarbons that exist as liquids at Titan's surface temperature of -179 degrees Celsius. The Cassini-Huygens mission, which explored the Saturn system from 2004 to 2017, revealed something remarkable. Titan's northern hemisphere contains 3 massive seas. Kraken Mare, the largest, is bigger than the Caspian Sea on Earth, with depths estimated at over 300 meters. For decades, scientists theorized about what might exist in those alien oceans. Complex organic chemistry, prebiotic molecules, perhaps even life based on radically different biochemistry, organisms that use liquid methane the way Earth life uses water. The Proteus mission was designed to answer those questions. The submarine itself was a marvel of engineering. 10 meters long, reinforced titanium hull rated for 500 meters of depth in cryogenic methane. Nuclear power supply. Sonar systems adapted for liquid hydrocarbons. A small airlock for deploying collection probes. And a crew compartment that could keep 4 people alive for 4 days in an environment where exposed human flesh would freeze solid in seconds. The mission launched from Huygens Station, humanity's first permanent outpost on Titan, located on the shores of Kraken Mare. The station had been operational for 3 years, supporting a rotating crew of 20 scientists and engineers. Dr. Lisa Chen had been on Titan for 8 months when the Proteus mission was approved. A marine biologist who had spent years studying extremophile organisms in Earth's deep oceans, she'd advocated for the Titan submarine program since graduate school. "We've sent probes to Europa's ocean," she'd written in her mission proposal. "We've studied Enceladus's subsurface sea, but Titan is the only place in the solar system where we can actually pilot a submarine through an alien ocean. We have to go." Commander James Torres was the pilot, a former Navy submariner who had transitioned to space exploration. He'd commanded vessels in Earth's Mariana Trench before joining the Titan program. Engineer Marcus Webb was responsible for all mechanical systems. Keep the submarine running, keep the crew alive. Simple objectives with catastrophic consequences if he failed. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the mission specialist, was there to operate the scientific instruments and manage sample collection. A geochemist who specialized in organic compounds. The dive began at 6 o'clock hours station time on January 12, 2042. The black box recorder captured everything from that moment forward. The recording begins with routine communications chatter. Torres's voice, calm and professional. "Huygens Station, this is Proteus. We have cleared the dock and are beginning descent. All systems nominal." Station response. "Copy that, Proteus. You are go for dive. Surface conditions are calm. Wind speed 8 kilometers per hour. We have you on sonar." Chen's voice, excited. "I can see the seafloor through the forward viewport. The methane is surprisingly clear. Visibility is at least 50 meters." The submarine descended slowly, adjusting ballast to control the rate of descent. Through the forward viewport, The crew could see Titan's seafloor materializing in the lights, a landscape of frozen hydrocarbons and water ice, sculpted by currents into rippled patterns. "It looks like Earth's ocean floor," Webb commented. "Sediment patterns. Dunes." "But the chemistry is completely different," Tanaka replied. "That's not sand. It's organic compounds, complex hydrocarbons that precipitate out of the liquid methane." At 30 meters depth, Torres activated the sonar array. The pings echoed through the liquid methane, mapping the terrain ahead. "Sonar contact," Torres said. "Seafloor is at 340 meters. That's deeper than the survey data suggested." "Probably a depression in the basin," Tanaka said. "The orbital surveys don't have perfect resolution." The descent continued. 50 meters, 100, 200. The pressure hull creaked occasionally as the external pressure increased. Not as extreme as Earth's ocean at equivalent depths, because liquid methane is less dense than water, but still substantial. At 250 meters, Chen activated the bioluminescence sensors, instruments designed to detect any light production from potential organisms. "Nothing yet," she reported, "but we're approaching the depth where chemosynthetic life would be most viable." "If it exists," Torres added. "It exists," Chen said with quiet confidence. "We just have to find it." At hour 4, Proteus reached the seafloor at 340 meters depth. "Huygens Station, Proteus," Torres transmitted. "We have reached bottom, beginning survey pattern Alpha." "Copy that, Proteus. All telemetry looks good." "You're cleared to proceed." The submarine began its planned survey route, moving slowly across the seafloor, sonar mapping the terrain, robotic arms collecting samples of sediment and crystallized organics. For 38 hours, everything went exactly according to plan. Then the sonar detected something. The sonar signature appeared suddenly on Torres's display. "Contact," he said, his voice sharp with surprise. "Bearing 270 degrees, range 800 meters. Large object. Stationary." "Define large," Webb said, moving to look over Torres's shoulder. Torres adjusted the sonar gain. "It's big, at least 200 meters across, maybe more. It's hard to get a clear reading. The returns are strange." "Strange how?" Chen asked. "The surface is too smooth, metal smooth, not like a rock formation." Chen felt her pulse quicken. "Could be a limpact fragment, metallic asteroid debris." "At this depth," Tanaka said, "that would have to be incredibly dense to sink in liquid methane." "Let's take a closer look," Torres decided. "Huygens Station, Proteus. We have a sonar contact of interest. Large metallic object approximately 200 meters diameter. We're diverting to investigate." Station response. "Copy that, Proteus. Keep us updated." The submarine altered course, moving toward the contact. The sonar pings continued, building a more detailed picture of the object. And the more detail they saw, the stranger it became. "That's not a natural formation," Webb said quietly. The object was roughly spherical, too spherical, and the surface showed geometric patterns, tessellated panels or plates, arranged in a precise grid. "Are we looking at something artificial?" Chen asked. No one answered immediately. Torres brought Proteus to within 200 meters of the object. The submarine's lights illuminated a small section of the surface. Through the forward viewport, they could see it clearly now. It was a sphere, enormous. Resting on the seafloor, or perhaps partially buried in it. The surface was dark, almost black, but with a faint metallic sheen. And covering every visible surface were panels, hexagonal plates, each about 2 meters across, fitted together with mathematical precision. "Huygens Station," Torres said, his voice carefully controlled. "We have visual confirmation. The object appears to be artificial. Repeat, appears to be artificial." Requesting guidance. The response took 4 seconds, the light speed delay to Titan's surface and back. "Proteus Station, Can you clarify artificial? Are you saying man-made? Negative station, not man-made. This is something else. Another pause. Proteus, hold position. Do not approach closer. We're conferring with mission directors. Torres kept the submarine at 200 meters, hovering in the methane sea, all lights trained on the massive sphere. Chen activated every sensor available: spectrometers, magnetometers, radiation detectors. I'm getting readings, she said. Weak electromagnetic field. Not natural, and the spectrometry shows alloys, combinations of metals that don't occur naturally. How old is it? Webb asked. No way to tell. But it's been here a long time. The sediment patterns around it suggest it's been partially buried and re-exposed multiple times. Could be millions of years. Station came back on comms. Proteus, you are authorized to collect close-range data but maintain minimum safe distance. Do not, repeat, do not attempt to touch or sample the object. Document everything. Copy that, Station. Torres maneuvered Proteus in a slow circle around the sphere, keeping 150 meters distance, cameras recording every angle. It took 20 minutes to complete the circuit. The sphere was perfectly symmetrical, every panel identical. No visible openings, no irregularities, no markings or symbols. Just a massive, geometric sphere sitting silently on the floor of an alien ocean, 1.4 billion kilometers from Earth. What do you think it is? Webb asked quietly. A probe, Tanaka said, or a beacon, something built to survive here. Survive what? Chen asked. There's nothing on Titan that could threaten a structure like this. Maybe it wasn't built to defend against threats, Tanaka said. Maybe it was built to wait. They were analyzing sensor data when Torres noticed the sonar change. Contact is moving, he said. Everyone looked up. What? Chen said. The object. It's shifting, rising off the sea floor. The sonar display showed the massive sphere lifting slowly upward, sediment cascading off its surface. Huygens Station, Proteus. The object is active. Repeat, the object is moving, ascending from seafloor. Proteus Station. Confirm you said moving. Affirmative, rising at approximately 0.5 meters per second. Through the forward viewport, they could see the sphere's surface beginning to illuminate. Not reflected light from Proteus. The panels themselves were glowing, a faint blue-green bioluminescence spreading across the grid pattern. It's powering up, Webb said. Proteus, Station, abort observation, return to Huygens immediately. Torres didn't need to be told twice. He activated the ballast system, preparing to ascend. But before Proteus could start rising, the submarine's sonar array detected something new. Multiple contacts, all around them. Smaller objects, dozens of them, rising from the seafloor like the sphere but much smaller, each about the size of a car. And they were moving, fast. We've got company, Torres said. Multiple contacts, all sides, range closing. What are they? Chen asked. Don't know, but they're coming toward us. One of the objects passed through Proteus's lights. They all saw it clearly. It looked like a mechanical jellyfish. A central core with multiple articulated arms or tentacles extending outward, each ending in what looked like sensors or manipulators. It moved through the liquid methane with impossible grace, propelling itself with subtle undulations. It's a drone, Tanaka said. The sphere is deploying drones. Proteus Station, what is your status? We're surrounded, Station, counting 20-plus objects. They appear to be autonomous probes or drones. The drones circled Proteus, maintaining a distance of about 20 meters, scanning, observing. Proteus activated the ascent sequence. The ballast tanks expelled liquid methane, replacing it with compressed helium. Proteus began to rise. The drones followed. "They're maintaining formation with us," Webb said. "Not attacking, just watching." "That's not comforting," Chen replied. Proteus ascended at maximum safe speed, 2 meters per second. The drones kept pace effortlessly. And below them, the sphere continued to rise as well, following at a distance. "Station, Proteus. The primary object is following us. Maintaining depth separation of approximately 200 meters. "Copy that, Proteus. Continue ascent. We're preparing surface recovery procedures." At 150 meters depth, one of the drones moved closer to Proteus. It extended one of its articulated arms and touched the submarine's hull. The contact was gentle, almost delicate. "They're examining us," Tanaka said, "like scientists studying a specimen." "I don't want to be a specimen," Webb muttered. The drone withdrew its arm and returned to formation with the others. At 100 meters depth, Torres noticed something on the sonar. "The primary object is accelerating," he said. "It's moving faster, closing the distance." "How fast?" Chen asked. "Too fast. It's going to reach us before we surface." The sphere overtook Proteus at 70 meters depth. It rose from below, massive and glowing, and positioned itself directly above the submarine, blocking their path to the surface. Torres brought Proteus to a halt, hovering at 65 meters. "Huygens Station, Proteus. The object has positioned itself above us. We cannot proceed to surface without collision. Proteus, can you maneuver around it?" Torres checked his systems. "Negative, Station. The object is too large. It's covering a 200-meter diameter area directly overhead. We'd have to descend to go around it." "Do not descend. Hold position. We're analyzing options." The drones continued to circle. Their movements had become more purposeful, more aggressive. "I think we made it angry," Webb said. "Machines don't get angry," Chen replied. "That depends on what kind of intelligence is running them," Tanaka said. One of the drones approached the hull again. This time, it didn't just touch, it attached. A metallic clang reverberated through Proteus as the drone's manipulator clamped onto the exterior. "Contact on the hull," Torres reported. "One drone has attached to us." Then another drone attached, and another. Within 30 seconds, 8 drones had fixed themselves to Proteus's hull. "Station, we have multiple attachments. The drones are—" The submarine lurched downward. "They're pulling us down!" Torres shouted, fighting the controls. "Ballast to maximum!" But the drones were too strong. Despite Proteus dumping all its liquid methane ballast, despite the helium tanks at full capacity, the submarine was being pulled deeper. 70 meters, 80, 100. Hull stress increasing, Webb called out, watching his engineering displays. "We're not rated for more than 500 meters. Below 400, we start getting structural warnings." "Station, Proteus. We are being forcibly submerged. Repeat, drones are pulling us into the depths. Require immediate assistance." "Proteus, there is no surface assistance available. You need to detach the drones. Emergency procedures." "We know the procedures," Torres snapped. "They won't work. These things are too strong." 150 meters, 200. The pressure hull began to creak audibly, a sound that every submariner fears, the groan of metal being compressed beyond its design limits. "We're going to implode," Chen said quietly. 300 meters, 320. They were back at the depth they'd started at, but the drones kept pulling. 340 meters, 360. "Hull stress at 87%, Webb reported. "We're approaching maximum rated depth." "Can we cut loose the drones?" Chen asked. "Explosive bolts? Something?" "Nothing attached to the exterior will help," Webb said. "They're clamped onto the hull itself." 400 meters. The sphere had descended with them, staying directly above, its panels glowing brighter now. And then, Suddenly, the drones released. Proteus stopped ascending at 410 meters. The crew waited, breathing hard, listening to the hull creak. "Why did they stop?" Chen asked. Torres checked his instruments. "We're directly below the sphere now, about 50 meters beneath it." "It wanted us here," Tanaka said, "at this specific depth." "Why?" Before anyone could answer, the sphere began to transmit. Not radio, not sonar, something else. A vibration transmitted directly through the liquid methane and into Proteus's hull, a low-frequency pulse that resonated through the submarine structure. The crew felt it in their bones, a rhythmic vibration that pulsed through everything. And then the lights inside Proteus flickered. "What was that?" Webb said. "It's interfacing with our systems," Tanaka said, staring at his instrument panel. "The vibrations are carrying data. It's trying to communicate." "Trying or succeeding?" Torres asked. The submarine's computer displays began showing patterns, mathematical sequences, geometric diagrams. "It's sending instructions," Tanaka said, "or schematics. I think it's showing us how it works." Chen studied the displays. "These look like energy generation diagrams. It's showing us its power source." "Why?" Webb asked. "Because," Tanaka said slowly, "it wants us to understand what it is. It's not a threat. It's a teacher." The transmissions continued for 17 minutes. Data flowed into Proteus's systems faster than the crew could process. And then, as suddenly as it began, it stopped. The sphere's panels dimmed. The drones detached from positions around the submarine. And the massive sphere began to descend, sinking slowly back toward the seafloor. "It's leaving," Chen said. "No," Tanaka said, watching the data still processing on his screen. "It's not leaving. It's returning to dormancy. But it gave us everything, its entire technical database, thousands of years of data." "Station won't believe this," Torres said. "Proteus, Huygens Station. We lost telemetry for 18 minutes. What is your status?" Torres keyed the comms. "Station, you're not going to believe what just happened." Proteus surfaced 6 hours later, ballast fully discharged, ascending slowly to avoid decompression stress on the hull. The submarine docked at Huygens Station at hour 52, 8 hours ahead of the planned return. The crew was exhausted but unharmed. The data they'd collected filled every storage system on board, terabytes of information transmitted from the sphere. Mission directors sealed the data immediately, classified at the highest levels. Dr. Chen was debriefed for 16 hours straight. "What was it?" the mission director asked. "A library," Chen said, "or a museum. It's been down there for millions of years, waiting." "Waiting for what?" "For someone to be smart enough to find it, to explore Titan's oceans, to prove we were worth teaching." "What did it teach you?" Chen smiled, exhausted. "Everything. Energy generation, faster-than-light physics, molecular assembly, the basics of technologies we don't have names for yet." "Why?" I think Titan is a test site. That sphere and thousands like it across the solar system and beyond, placed in environments where intelligent species might eventually explore. And when we find them, if we're peaceful, if we're curious rather than hostile, they teach us. And if we'd been hostile..." Chen was quiet for a moment. "Those drones pulled us to 410 meters. Our hull is rated for 500. They knew exactly what we could survive. If we'd attacked, I think they would have taken us deeper." No one went back to Kraken Mare for 6 months. When they finally returned, the sphere was gone. The seafloor where it had rested showed only a circular depression in the sediment. But the data remained, and humanity began to learn. The Titan submarine program continues. 3 more vessels now explore Kraken Mare and the smaller seas Ligeia Mare and Punga Mare. They found 17 more spheres, each one dormant, waiting. And each time a submarine crew approaches with peaceful scientific intent, the spheres wake up and teach. We are not alone in the universe. And whoever placed those libraries throughout our solar system left them as gifts for species willing to explore the depths. New cosmic mysteries every Monday and Thursday. This was the Titan submarine that stopped responding.